Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1913 book, The Patchwork Girl of Oz. This is written by L. Frank Baum. This is the 7th book in the Land of Oz book series. L. Frank Baum wrote 14 books. There's been a slew of other books since. This is my #1 favorite out of the 14. I've read this the most, to be completely honest. I've read this book the most out of all 14 of them. I love this book so much because of many reasons. So it's a recap book. So we have this character, Ojo the Unlucky, who lives with his Uncle Nunky, the border of Gillikin and Munchkin land, Munchkin country and Gillikin country. So the purple country meeting the blue country. That's where their house is, in this, blue forest, which is secluded. Uncle Nunky and Ojo take a trip to go visit Dr. Pip, who is this crooked magician, for something, right? And so they meet his wife, Margalo, and she's making this patchwork girl to be her servant, clean things, cook things. And so Dr. Pip is almost done making the magic powder of life to bring the patchwork girl to life. He also has a glass cat that he brought to life. He's a magician, right? But magic has been outlawed, so he's not supposed to be practicing magic, but he did. We've learned that old Mombi, who's the witch who imprisoned Ozma as a kid, transformed her into a boy named Tip. She had visited Dr. Pip to get some magic powder of life. She traded him spell for spell, illegally, of course. So she had sprinkled the magic powder onto Jack Pumpkinhead. Tip ran away in the 2nd book, The Marvelous Land of Oz, with Jack Pumpkinhead. They found a sawhorse. They sprinkled this powder on the sawhorse, and so on, and so forth, and what have you, for that sequel book, and then previous books after that, sequel books after that. So we learn about the magician who gave Mombi that powder of life. He's finishing up this batch. It takes 6 years to make this batch. He has to stir 4 pots with all 4 limbs, all 4 extremities, all at the same time, for 6 years to make this tiny little minuscule bit of powder of life. So while Margalo is busy, Ojo takes some magic, things off the shelves to create a whirlwind pile of brains for Scraps, the patchwork girl. So they sew up all the brains, they sprinkle the powder of life, but in the haste, there's an accident. And so Scraps kicks the powder of life away. It lands on this phonograph, who's on a round table in the corner. But in the process of the chaos, this liquid of petrification falls off the shelf onto Uncle Nunky, who is Ojo's uncle, and Dr. Pip's wife, Margalo. The only way to unfreeze them from their, marble-turning spell is to go across the Land of Oz and collect 5 items. You need 3 hairs from a woozy's tail. You need a gill of water from a dark well. You need a 6-leaf clover, the left wing of a yellow butterfly, and what was the 5th one? Something else. Oh, a drop of oil from a live man. So it's a matter of how the hell is all this happening for Ojo to get all these things together. So Scraps and Ojo and the glass cat Bungle all leave, go on a whirlwind adventure throughout Oz. They find a woozy. They can't get the tail. They can't get the 3 hairs off him, so they just bring him with them. The phonograph catches up to them, but he makes horrible music, and so they banish him, which is a pretty rough scene because that's bullying. And then eventually he catches up to them again, and eventually he gets pushed out again. Interesting. They meet Shaggy Man along the way. He saves them from these man-eating plants. Shaggy Man brings them to the Emerald City, where Ojo picks a 6-leaf clover, which is illegal in the Land of Oz. Ojo's thrown in jail, and he has a trial. Ozma forgives him because Ojo is not doing it to make magic himself, because a 6-leaf clover is a magical item in order to, put spells together. Magic's outlawed in Oz, except for Glinda, the sorceress Glinda, her assistant, the wizard. Those are the only 2 who are permitted to do magic in the Land of Oz. So Scraps, Bungle, the Woozy, Ojo, they all, are interacting with Emerald City folk. Ozma, Princess Dorothy, all of their, eclectic clan of group. So they all get to talking, and Ozma forgives Ojo. Dorothy is intrigued with Scraps. Scraps is standing by her friend Ojo. They go on another whirlwind adventure alongside Scarecrow, and Dorothy now goes with them, but Bungle the Glass Cat and Woozy stay at the Emerald City. So the four of them now, Scarecrow, Dorothy, Ojo, and Scraps, go now to try to find more ingredients. So they go to the Quadlink country, they meet these Horners and Hoppers, where they find a dark well underneath the mountains where Ojo gets a gill of water, but it's really just a gold flask that he takes from Dorothy. They then have to figure out a way to get to the Winky country, because that's obviously where the yellow butterfly's wing is, alongside, you know, going to see Tin Man, to see, you know, to see the Tin Woman, Nick Chopper, to see what he thinks of all of this. They go see Nick Chopper after a trick river, very interesting. Gets the drop of oil from the Tin Woodman, but he refuses to let them take the left wing of a butterfly, because that's torture, and how dare they think that he would allow them to torture a butterfly. Ojo's distraught. They go back to the Emerald City, where Glinda has been seeing all of this the entire time, and she figured out a different way to unfreeze Margalo and Unk Nunky. So Margalo and Unk Nunky, the statues, alongside Dr. Pip, are in Ozma's, you know, the throne room, the chamber, the big meeting place, whatever you call it. So, the grand room, I don't know. The wizard speaks on Glinda's behalf as her humble assistant, speaks some magic words, does some magic stuff, uncrooks the crooked magician, Dr. Pip. He is now a fully functioning, standing, non-magic Munchkin Man now. Unfreezes Margalo, unfreezes Unk Nunky, and the Tin Woodman says, "See, you've always been Ojo the Lucky, not Ojo the Unlucky." And then, you know, they hug and embrace, and they all live happily ever after. So, Dr. Pip can do no more magic. Ozma gives Unk Nunky and Ojo a house just outside of Emerald City where they can live their days nice and peacefully. This is a great adventure story. It's two adventures, because you have the original adventure going up to the Emerald City, and then you have the adventure following the Emerald City to get back to the Emerald City. Very interesting. I like that. It's different. It recaps everything. We meet Jack Pumpkinhead along the way. Like, everyone shares their story, how they came about, how they know each other, how they're familiar with Ozma, all these things. It's a nice recap book, which is fun because Bound didn't want to write any more books. He wanted the 6th book to be it. That was it. The Emerald City Oz, that was it. He was done. He tried other little stories that the kids at the time didn't care about. They wanted more Dorothy. They wanted more Tin Man. They wanted more Scarecrow. They wanted more Ozma. What's up? What's up in the Emerald City? So this is the first introduction in like 3 years. I think Emerald City was what, 10? Emerald City of Oz was 1910. This is 1913. I love this book. I've read this so many times. I love that Ojo being born on Friday the 13th and being left-handed and has a wart under his right arm is irrelevant, because he's always been Ojo the Lucky, because there's always a way of figuring it out. Just because you think you're on the wrong path doesn't mean it's actually going to stay the wrong path. But the right path is right around the corner. Sometimes you need the help of a magical assistant from a sorceress, but it's neither here nor there. I've had this 6-leaf clover tattoo on my wrist because of this book, because of this plot point, since, what, 2010? So 12 years now? Long time. It's a reminder. I'm not unlucky. I'm lucky. Whether some days I might not think that or not, I am lucky. 7th book, Patchwork Girl of Oz, my absolute favorite of the 14 series. The next one is TikTok of Oz. No relation to the platform that it is, the giant conglomerate TikTok, the application that we all know and love. This is all from way back in the day. So TikTok of Oz is next, and so on and so forth and what have you. And on to the next review. Mucho mahalo.